All right, Coach. So how'd the scrimmage go on Saturday?
Yeah, I thought the scrimmage was good. I think the bright spot of the scrimmage I thought was our defense. Came out and I don't even know, it was like maybe 6 to 8 consecutive 3-and-outs that they went. I mean, offensively, we couldn't get a dang first down. And so, it kind of started at the first. We dropped a pass early on in the first series and then just kind of never rebounded after that. And I thought defense took advantage of it. It was fun to see them flying around and tackling the football, getting it on the ground, stopping the run. I mean, kind of all these things we've emphasized as a unit and did a great job. And so, I think we went to a little bit of a break with the special teams period to work on some stuff in special teams. Came back to a 2-minute situation. I thought, the offense, Chandler did a fantastic job kind of being a leader, talking to the guys, and getting us back on track. And we were able to get some stuff accomplished kind of on the back end of stuff offensively and move the ball with a little bit of effectiveness. But overall, I would say not even close. The defense won the day.
Were you able to determine the best five for that offensive line on Saturday?
No, not really. And two, we're just trying to throw in a couple rotations right now to see how they all gel together. So by design, we threw some different combinations out there and see how well people communicated to one another. And so I think we're probably at about 7 guys right now. And two, really the surprise of the group has been Braden Nelson coming in high school. That's kind of thrown himself into a position where he has a chance to play this year. So Braden, not only physically has he done a good job, but mentally, I think of all the freshmen we have here for true freshmen, he's been able to pick it up the fastest mentally, and the game slowed down a little bit for him right now. And so he's somebody that we continue to be impressed with, and so we'll kind of see where he fits in that rotation. And I tell you, man, that's the hardest position, offensive, defensive line, to play as a young buck. And but I think size-wise, strength-wise, I think he has those capabilities. So we'll continue to push reps to him and see if he can handle that.
Some of the newcomers on defense starting to show up here and show that they can help you this year.
Yeah, I think so. I think Jaden Hill's a guy that pops to my mind, and a guy that's a Division II player, 3-time All-Conference guy, comes in here. He's just played so much football, and he seems to be a guy that's never rattled by anything. And so it's been really fun to watch him. I think that, a couple of these young linebackers, not young, older transfer linebackers, Whitaker's been awesome. I think you see the speed out there, especially in the scrimmage situation, physicality and speed. He can really run to the football. It's been fun to see that. And I think defensive line-wise, Braylon Charles is a guy that you continue to look at that just gets a day better each and every day. And so he was someone that I think continues to show a bright spot for us on the defensive side. I think David Spurls is a guy that is a smaller guy but continues to be in the right place, and even the tackle situations, like he gets people to the ground. And so excited about the group right now on the defensive side of the ball as far as some of the newcomers.
You mentioned Chandler before, with him still being sort of new to this offense. Can you talk a little bit more about what you saw from that first scrimmage, how he reacted to more of a game setting, and you mentioned his leadership, kind of how he took on that role, and when you're not standing right there, for every rep?
Yeah, I think he's a great communicator, and so I think it's been fun to watch the guys really buy into what he's doing as a leader right now. And so I think it was good for us to see, like, his stats didn't really jump out at you, but I think he kind of changed the way the game was going towards the second half, and it was kind of interesting to see that. But made some incredible throws outside the pocket. I think we had a couple drops early on that were some really good passes. And so for him to kind of settle in, and then once we do hit this adversity, which is going to happen during the course of the year, is he's a guy that's been through so many trials and tribulations. I think that the guys trust him, they believe in him, and so he's allowed to have that voice right now, and people will follow him. So yeah, I think that was another just great example of his leadership coming out, where we do have a rough start, but he's able to kind of reset the group and get us on the right track.
After Saturday, what are you kind of looking forward to for the next few weeks that you might want to improve on, or just something to change up with?
Yeah, after Saturday, I think we'll kind of go and meet, as a staff, and kind of figure out and try to start dwindling down, who we're going to start pressing reps to. And we'll go into similar kind of a mock game week for South Alabama. And so we start school next week. There'll be a lot going on. And so that's where we'll kind of start forming our scout teams and the guys who we think are going to travel, and start, figuring our 70 to 75 guys that we can count on. And so really this will be the last chance for us to get out there in a live situation and guys really to show what they can do. That next week we'll still have some practice, some good on good stuff to get the speed that next week, but we'll go into a little bit more of a mentality that we're preparing for another opponent. And so, talked to the guys last night, and just seems like you blink and this stuff goes by, right? And so, you look up, we're 18 days away from the first game right now. And so, I think this is a really important week for us to show what we can do the rest of the week into Saturday. And then Sunday you start kind of backing off on them, getting their bodies back healed up and ready for them to play full speed 2 weeks out.
You get any more clarity at running back as you get closer to the season?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's been fun to see Harris that's coming over from Lamar. He's a bigger back for us, and really good to see him in a live situation. He had some really nice runs, some explosive runs. Got to continue to bring him along in pass protection and some of those things, just the nuances of the offense. I think Price continues to shine every chance that he gets. I think, he's kind of that rare combination of speed and strength and has the ability to take it to the house from anywhere on the field. And then Akaika just keeps getting a day better. And it was funny, the scrimmage, the very first run Akaika had, he looked timid and didn't really cut on it. And he got tackled for the first time. It was like the light bulb popped on. And his next 3 or 4 runs, he looked like old Akaika and broke a couple tackles and looked phenomenal. So I think those 3 guys, our freshmen, continue to come on. They're showing flashes here and there. But really excited about those 3 right there. And then Mackenzie McGill is a guy that's a walk-on that continues to earn his stripes around here, and I wouldn't be surprised if he finds his way on the field at times this year.
Does scrimmaging feel at all different from a year ago? Obviously, coaching staff been here another year, and maybe a couple more players than you had last year that were familiar with the system. Has it felt at all different?
Yeah, I think so. I just think, there's a little bit more of our standard right now. I think Coach Keggins did a phenomenal job in the offseason and really laying out what we expect and the way we practice. And two, we have more depth right now. And so if a guy doesn't want to do kind of what we're doing or give the effort, doesn't have the attitude, then we'll just simply replace him without having to go out there and scream and just plug somebody in that place. And so I like the way the chemistry is building on this team, the camaraderie. I like the way that we're building relationships right now. But at the end of the day, like I told the guys, that's not going to win you football games. I think it allows you to want to go out and sacrifice for one another and play a little bit harder for the man next to you. So we'll continue to build on that. But, yeah, I think the kids know the standard, and if they're not living up to the standard, and it's not always coach-driven either. I mean, I've seen some players that didn't like the effort one of their teammates was giving. They're calling one another out. So I think that's a sign that we're turning and we're building a culture that we're going to be proud of.
Any of those guys in particular stand out to you who are taking that vote forward?
Yeah, a bunch. I think Ridge Tejada is a guy on defense that pops into mind right now. Jordan Brown, Ethan Westlowski are 2 guys. Jet Duncan, Damon Ward. We have a Akaika Ragsdale in the backfield. And then, I think you just continue to build on those guys that have been here and earned their stripes here, and they're doing a phenomenal job off the field as well as on the field.
Coach, you kind of talked about a lot of different receivers who had a chance to shine during this fall camp. Any updates with your starting receivers outside of those 3 returners that we've always talked about?
Yeah, we got some battles right now. I think the biggest surprise so far is Wyatt Young. Wyatt's a guy that continues to make big play after big play, and we've started mixing him in with the ones a little bit and continues to show what he can do, which is impressive, just that he didn't play receiver in high school and he's made the transition so fast. And so it's been fun to see him. I think that Jeremiah Aaron's done a nice job, and him and Dalton Carnes are battling out each and every day, so it's been fun to watch that competition right there. I think Nick Rimpert's continued to play behind D. Ward, and he watches D. Ward and how he practices every day. He's able to mimic and all the good things that D. Ward brings to the table from a practice standpoint. And then, I think it's been fun. This slot position, I think with us playing a little bit more 11 personnel with a tight end this year, between Blair Conwright, DT has had a phenomenal last 2 days. Right now he continues to show his explosiveness, which, he's looked good returning the football too in the return game. So yeah, I think there's great competitions everywhere, and I think competition, breeds success down the line, and it's been fun to watch these guys not be selfish about it, but they know someone's sitting right behind them, and if they drop a ball or mess up on something, then there's somebody waiting to take their spots. So we joke about it, try not to tell Landon Sides all the time he's going to get Wally pipped by Wyatt Young, and that doesn't make him very happy. I had to tell him who Wally Pipp was, but that continued. In Atlanta, we just got to continue to get Landon healthy. I mean, we're slowly bringing him along. We know what Landon can do on Saturdays.
Hey, you guys had a couple of players arrested here in the last few days. What's their status going forward?
Yeah, we're aware of everything that went on. Still trying to gather up everything we need to do and get the facts, legally and what's happened, and then we'll make a decision on what they're if there is any punishment, if there needs to be, and if there does need to be, I'm not putting that out of the question right now. And so as we gather everything and we're kind of able to sit down with it, then we'll decide kind of what fits for it right now. But aware of it, and we'll be monitoring it closely.
Today's practice was a later start than usual. Was that kind of by design to get the guys better acclimated to the heat?
Yeah, absolutely. So trying to slowly work these guys into getting ready to play. South Alabama is not only going to be hot, but it's going to be humid, right? And so I think that's the big difference, and you worry about them losing fluids and cramping in a really humid environment. And so I think any opportunity we can continue to get them adjusted to this, we'll continue to do. We had a couple practices now in the afternoon. Tomorrow's going to be a day off, so I thought it'd be a good time to get us outside this afternoon, knowing that tomorrow they'll have the time to recover and rest. And then, you go Thursday in the morning, Friday in the morning, and Saturday we'll be back in the afternoon to scrimmage. So, yeah, hopefully we'll have about 5 or 6 good, tough practices in the afternoon under our belt by the time we get school started.
What are your thoughts about that defensive line room so far? Anyone solidified as starters yet alongside Rhino?
Yeah, and Rod's done an awesome job. I think June's a guy that knows what he's doing. He can play multiple positions for us right now. Zaylen Scott's a guy that kind of has come in and really shown a different level of pass rush for us right now, a really, really twitchy guy on the edge. So it's been fun to watch him compete as a freshman. Braylon Charles, as I mentioned earlier, is a guy that we're going to count on this year. And then you look at, having Jake Shipley on the edge. It's going to be really good. Terrell Dawkins on the edge continues to get better and better. So, like I said earlier, and two, we want that. I mean, we want to have 6 to 8 guys that we feel like we can put a rotation out there and keep these guys, keep them fresh during the course of a 70 to 80 play game. And so really like the same thing as every other position, like the competitions, they're good. And I think Rod's really the mainstay right now, and a guy that's our anchor right now on the middle of the nose, and then have great battles going everywhere else.
How's the health been of the roster so far in camp?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, just banged up. I've had a couple soft tissue things here and there. A couple ankles here and there. Really nothing catastrophic. And season ending right now. So excited kind of where we're at right now as far as that is. There's a couple bumps and bruises that we need to get healthy within the course of the next 7 to 10 days. That way they'll have enough time to get prepared to go into South Alabama.
Hey, Juwaun, so how did the Saturday scrimmage go?
The Saturday scrimmage went smooth. It was my first scrimmage here. I think there was a lot of things that you could definitely get better in. But overall, it was definitely a smooth, first scrimmage.
Coach Mike kind of mentioned some offensive struggles at the beginning. How did you grade your performance in the offense as well?
I feel like I did all right. I was really trying to focus on what Coach Cobbs was, teaching us through that time. But I definitely think that there was things that I definitely could have got better at. But over time, it's definitely starting to click, so it would be good.
How's the transition been to North Texas?
Besides the weather, but everything been smooth though. Like the team had open arms, welcomed me in and stuff like that. It went all good. The transition was definitely, I would say they made a smooth transition. It was easy for me to come here and fit in and stuff. So.
Does it feel like you're fitting in just because there's a lot of other new players that are here as well going through the same thing?
I think so. I definitely think that it was easier because there was a lot of new players, but it's more of we all brought each other in together. Then I would say. So yeah, to answer your question, yeah.
What was just the experience of getting back on the field, a little bit more of a game scenario? How did that feel, and how do you what do you want to take away from that so you're ready for the next scrimmage?
Oh, you're talking about from last scrimmage?
Yeah, from this past scrimmage.
It was more faster. So I felt like that was the first scrimmage, so I wasn't sweating it too much. I'm always hard on myself, trying to be great every practice. Can't let the day go to waste. But seeing how that first scrimmage went, knowing that I'm new to the system and stuff, I didn't get that too hard on myself. But I know preparing better and really buying into what we got going on for the next scrimmage. You know.
How's that running back room coming back together? There's a lot of new guys in there.
Yeah, no, the running back room is definitely there. I would definitely say that it's going to be good. It's going to be good to watch this year. I can't say too much, but running back room going to be good. Surprising.
Are there any freshmen in that running back room that have kind of stood out to you thus far?
I think both of the freshmen, I think they both have different running styles and stuff, so I think they both are going to be good. I was actually talking about that previously, and I said that they both going to be straight. So,
What's the kind of the competition like in the room? Obviously, you want to have that kind of push and pull, so you guys are trying to make each other better. What's that been like since you've been?
We always criticize each other, which is good, and I feel like that's what made it easier in the running back room. Kaika was the oldest. He's been here, so we always ask him questions, and it's no I'm against that or any of that stuff in the room. So I definitely feel like we all are trying to learn. We all trying to get better, and it's all helping us. Like even if Kaika's doing something, when we tell him something, he's listening and stuff. So that's why I think that our room is getting closer and we'll be good.
What was that process like when you transferred here to North Texas and with Coach Cobbs and all the recruiting?
My coach actually knew Coach Cobbs and stuff. So I think the transition when I first entered the portal, it was a process. Like it's my last year, so I wanted to make sure it was the right decision. And as that process went on, I believe that North Texas can help me. They got everything that I need to be great and see what happens in the future.
When it came to that first scrimmage, obviously the coaches are there, but they're not in your ear after every rep, kind of like with practice. Who was kind of standing out as leaders on the team, including yourself, if you felt you took on that role?
Definitely, Chandler. Chandler, the energy was kind of down, but Chandler definitely knows how to, pick everybody up. So I think that's one thing that I noticed about Chandler was he definitely knows how to bring the offense together, if we're bringing down, if we don't have the energy and stuff. So.
Yeah, Kaika's coming back off a pretty big injury after last year. How's he looked, and have you gotten to know him a little bit since you got?
Oh yeah. That's why I said, all the running backs we close. So with Kaika coming back, I actually just told him, I said, "Boy, you looking good, boy." Like we all hype each other up. Like we all know. We all gonna eat. We all want to eat and stuff like that. So that's how we looking at it. Kaika is looking good. I'm glad. What I'm saying, because it's gonna be easier. Like our defenses that we're gonna be facing is gonna be like, oh dang, you got this one, you got this one, you got this one, and you got this one. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely believe that it's gonna be a good season.
Is it exciting to have that mentality where you feel like everyone's going to be able to eat, everyone's going to be able to have their chance to shine in this offense?
Yeah, no, most definitely. I think that in the previous year that they just had, that's day 8, and I definitely believe that that's what also helped me know, like, okay, everybody can eat, and it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So
Within that room, what kind of role do you anticipate having this season?
I think I would say like I'm definitely on a lot like of the little things. Like if I'm seeing something in film, I'm also saying something as well. But I also try to learn as well. Like I'm not trying to do too much or anything. We're all new to this, so I feel like I'm like playing the role. Like I'm there. You know what I'm saying? But if I see something that I know to help, especially like the young guys or somebody else, then I'm gonna say something.
How do you feel like the offense has kind of used you so far in this early fall camp?
I like it. We're splitting, competing and stuff, going with the one. So I think it's definitely been smooth. Like it's definitely been smooth. That's your question.
Does the defense look pretty good? It sounded like the defense did play pretty well in the Saturday scrimmage. Are you impressed with what those guys have shown so far?
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna lie. Our defense is I don't know how the previous defense was, but our defense this year is gonna be good. It's gonna be exciting.
Confidence to believe that they're gonna be good and you guys are gonna change your fortunes from the years past.
I see how from the past where I was at and stuff, I see how like they communicate. The communication is definitely up there. That's definitely a big key for defenses and stuff. I see how they're doing that. They move around fast. They know what they need to work on and stuff like that. I definitely believe our defense is going to be good.
I haven't played since 2019. What are the biggest things that you're hoping to get out of this year?
Just being the best I could be, and that's in the offense. That's in special teams. It don't matter. Like I'm trying to be the best player and person I could be. For my last year, I want to go out with a ride and go out with a bang. But I definitely believe that I want to leave here saying like, yeah, I have no regrets. This is what I did.
How do you stay motivated during the grind of fall camp, and what kind of keeps you motivated to keep going?
I actually have like posted notes and stuff like in the room. I know what I gotta get done this year. You know, this is a big year and stuff. So I have some goals that I want to accomplish. So I know that I can't let no days go to waste. I always pray. I'm big on, you know, the Lord and stuff. Just pray to not get injured or anything. And if I know I can go, I'm gonna go. So I feel like there's obviously some days where it's gonna be hurting and stuff like that. But you know, the days where you actually out here practicing, you know, it's go time.
Any of those?
What are some of those goals that you have set for yourself this year?
I actually getting closer to God. I said 1,000 yards. You know, I got a lot. Taking care of the family, all that stuff. Like I know, like not letting the days go to waste. I got all that. It's literally like that in my mirror. So.
You got my question, so
All right, cool. Good, thanks.
appreciate it. Thanks so
Thank
much,
you.
man.
Juwaun Price.
Yo. Hey, Evan.
Hi, y'all.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, Evan, so how did the scrimmage go?
Scrimmage went well. I think we got a lot to improve on. Some mistakes, but it's very easy things to fix.
Sounded like the defense had a good day. Were you pretty happy with the way you guys performed on that side of the ball?
Yes, sir, I was. Yes, sir, I was. We did some really good things.
What'd you guys do that you were happy with?
A lot of new stuff going in, like motion adjustments, a lot of shifts and stuff on the D-line. Just stuff for the offense, get the offense moving, brains moving.
You guys adapting well to these things that you put in over the course of the offseason?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, what makes you say that? Why do you feel like this?
I just feel like we just have a better group. Like everyone's built, everyone's just built into it. Everybody's full 100% into it. Everybody's committed to it, and we really don't have any problems.
Has that commitment made a big difference for you guys in terms of, you know, coming together as a unit?
Yes, sir. Most definitely. Most definitely.
What do you feel like you learned from last year that you're excited that you took into this offseason, you're excited to take into this next season?
You said, maybe say it one more time.
What was something you learned last year that you're looking forward to applying for this upcoming season?
Stuff that I learned, like stuff on defense, like motion adjustments, alignment, you know, knowing my leverage, knowing where my help is, knowing what the linebacker's going to do, the D-line, the Leo, like just knowing everybody's job.
How would you kind of summarize your first year at North Texas?
I say it pretty good. Could have been a lot better, but I say it pretty good for a true freshman.
Getting those reps as a true freshman, you know, how valuable were those reps for you?
I feel like it was real valuable. Coming in now, I see a lot of stuff I seen last year, and I'm just able to pick up on it and like, oh, I seen this, I can cover it better, read and react better.
How's your relationship with Jaden Anderson, you know, someone who also started alongside you as a true freshman?
Oh yeah, our relationship is really good. You know, I played high school ball with him, so coming in, we're still roommates right now as it is. So our relationship always been good.
During those moments of adversity last season, you know, was it nice having someone on the defense that you could always fall back on?
Yes, it was. Yes.
How much better prepared are you this year than maybe you were last year being a freshman?
I would say I'm very much prepared now than I was last year. Last year, you know, coming into it, just having to be thrown in the fire, it was pretty difficult. But you know, I'm adjusted now and I'm prepared.
You have a few new guys in your position field. How do you feel like they've been able to adjust so far throughout fall camp?
I think they've been able to adjust very good. I feel like everybody's helping everybody, so it's like very easy to like adjust to stuff.
Has even something like scrimmaging felt different during this offseason compared to last year, where you know kind of a little bit more what you have to do, so you're able to expand what you're able to do during this?
Yes, sir. Yeah, a lot of things feel different, but I feel like it's the people around me, people making me better. Just picking up things off a few older guys and like just being able to help other people.
There's been a lot of talk about how you guys have improved against the run this year, just across the board. How have you seen that come to fruition in practice?
Just seeing all the drills, all the tackle circuit we going through, that's number one goal on the defense, stop the run.
Who kind of stands out on this defense as a leader?
Who stands out?
Who stands out as a leader on this defense?
I would say myself, Jordan Brown, Rod Brown, we got Rich Tejada. There's a lot of big pieces everywhere, a lot of leaders everywhere.
How do you try and be a leader? Is it more trying to be vocal? Is it more showing what you're able to do on the field?
I feel like it's both. I feel like I can do better being more vocal helping out the young guys because I was in their shoes last year.
Do you guys just feel more comfortable with what you're doing defensively in this system this year as compared to last year?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I feel way more comfortable. Everything's like starting to slow down. I can see stuff, process stuff, and it's just becoming easier.
Yeah, not just for you, but across the board defensively. Do you see that just as a whole?
Yes, sir.
That you guys are having a better feel for what you're doing?
Yes, sir.
What makes you say that?
Just everybody been on the same page. Like everybody knows they have to do their job before they can worry about someone else's job. Like everybody stand on each other.
How do you feel about the team's chemistry on defense at this point in camp?
I feel like we've done a great job through like spring ball and everything to build the chemistry. I feel like our chemistry is there. Like we just got to keep building on it, and it'll be good.
And how do you kind of stay motivated during a fall camp, and what kind of keeps you motivated?
Shoot, the guys around me, the room, everybody keeps each other. Everybody come in, walk into the locker room, smile on their face. Everybody keeping each other up. If you notice somebody having a bad day, you go over, talk to them, brighten their mood. So, like, that's it.